Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of
Scary to the Max.
Scary to the Max. My name is Glenn and I will be your host, but I am joined by my wonderful co-host,
Max,
who is not just my co-host, but also my son, and we are going to be talking with you about all things spooky here as we explore the wonderful world of Gateway Horror and talking about all things spooky. And Max, today you had a little bit of luck. Is that right? Yeah, you had a snow day today, didn't you? I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of your snow day, my man. How was your snow day? What did you do?
I go sledding.
You went sledding.
And I also tried to throw this giant snowball at Mom.
You threw a snowball at Mom?
A giant one.
A giant one. I don't know about that. Probably not the best thing to do. I wouldn't really recommend that you throw a giant snowball at your mom, but that is awesome that she took you out to go play in the snow.
And I also made 3 snow cones.
You made 3 snow cones?
Every time I go back inside and I go out 3 times. So every time I go back inside, made a snow cone, ate it, go back, made a snow cone, ate it, go back. Made a snow cone, ate it.
Oh my gosh, that is eating a crazy amount of snow. Almost like you were a monster. Almost like you were a house monster, which we talked about on our first segment in our very first episode. And a house monster showed up in our first segment, which is, of course, Shop Smart.
Shop Smart. Shop S-Smart.
And we changed the music around a little bit because I know you didn't like the yell. So from now on, you'll only hear that Shop Smart little word part right there without the yell. So it'll be a little bit more friendly. And since we were talking about the house monster, you actually got the house monster. How did you get one since the last time we talked?
From Christmas.
From Christmas. So Santa dropped off a house monster for you. And I know you asked me, you said, can I talk about him a little bit? So go ahead and tell me and tell everyone out there about the house monster.
Yeah, so these are like really fluffy, and I think this is a million stars because the ads said they're fluffy and they're fluffy.
So it's one of the fluffiest plushes that you own.
And I'll tell you something that you can't do. You can't put it in the washing machine, but if it gets really super dirty, you can wash it by hand because the tag tells you.
Ooh, that's
And you do not step on it.
Oh, no, don't step on
it.
That's for sure.
Because that will ruin it.
And which one did you get? Because we actually didn't tell people which house monster that you got.
Drowsy.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's the one you wanted too, isn't it?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, why does he live under my bed?
Well, I mean, he is a house monster, and that is one of the things with the house monsters, right? They all live somewhere else in the house. So it's nice that you got the one that's friendly and lives under your bed, and he's a good monster, right?
Yes.
That's right, and all the house monsters are helpful in some way.
Drowsy's helpful because every time I have a dream that is a little scary, Drowsy helps me out.
Oh, that's awesome. It's good to have a toy or a house monster like that to make sure that you're okay in case you have a dream that's a little bit too spooky. That's for sure. We like spooky things here, but not if they're too spooky.
Yes.
But maybe we'll talk about something like that a little bit later. But first, let's talk about, you were telling me that there's different rules with this house monster, right?
Yeah.
And there's rules for another type of animal, isn't there? Aren't there rules for
gremlins?
There's rules for gremlins, and gremlins are going to be the first thing here in Shop Smart that we talk about. Talking about the Gremlins plush blind bag with clip is what they call it. And it's actually a collection of all different gremlins plushes. What do you think about all these different gremlins plush?
Good.
You think they're good? And I know you had your eye on one that looked really kind of spooky. Which one was it?
The bat one.
The bat one. So these are a collection of all the different Gremlins from Gremlins 1 and Gremlins 2. So if you're a fan of both Gremlins movies, you are really going to like all these different Gremlins plush. You only get one, sadly, for $10.49.
Yes.
So they're a little expensive.
Blind bags are usually mystery.
Yeah, they are a blind bag, and that's a good thing that you bring that up, because blind bags, like, how do they work?
They're mystery, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Absolutely. They are sealed, and you don't know what is in there. So you might get what you want, or
you might get a duplicate.
You might get a duplicate, you might get something else, and that's a lot of money.
Like I say for duplicate.
Yeah, nobody likes to get that duplicate.
If I get duplicate mini brands, I'm posting it on eBay, and they're gonna have to give me a new mini brand if they want one of all duplicates.
Oh yeah, you could sell your duplicates. That's right. And for almost $11, that might not be a bad idea. But the Gremlins are super cool. They're just a little bit pricey. But let's say maybe this is a little bit less expensive. These are the DIY Junior Creepy Archie tiles. They are magnetic tiles for kids, but what makes them different from the regular magnetic tiles?
There's bugs on them.
There are bugs on them. You get 12 creepy bug inserts. And do you have a toy that's like this?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
It's like the same thing as that, but no bugs on it.
But no bugs.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't have that thing that bends.
The thing that bends. Oh, you're right. Yeah, we don't have that type of piece. There are a bunch of different pieces in this. Squares, a couple different triangles, some window pieces, and one that folds in and folds out that they let you load bugs into. They say they give you 12 creepy bug inserts. Basically, if you've seen those magnetic tiles that you can build with, that's what this is, but with some bugs. And these are $35.99. If you're into building, you might like these. Do you like these more, or do you like Legos more?
Legos, because we made a vending machine with Legos.
We did make a vending machine. I will say that the Legos kind of let you build a little bit more variety of things. Feel like there's only you have to be really into a specific way of building with these tiles. But these tiles are pretty cool. Do you like that they have bugs?
Yes.
And which bug on here do you think you like the most?
A spider.
There is a spider. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the spiders.
But there
you
is
like them.
venomous spiders.
Oh, do we have to talk about the venomous spiders? I'm not a fan of the venomous spiders.
And they're all purple.
And there are probably purple spiders. Yeah. All right. Let's not talk about spiders. It's getting late, and I don't want to be too scared. And so let's talk about the last toy here, and that is going to be the Halftime Zombie action figures. These are $11.99, and you get 6 of them, and they are these zombie action figures. What do you think of these?
Cool.
I think they're pretty cool. They're definitely a little bit scarier than the house monsters. They have really creepy zombie faces. You can see that one of them does not have an eyeball. The brains are hanging out of another one. One's got a whole big zombie mouth going on. So these are a little bit more intense, a little scarier than some of the other zombie toys that we have talked about on the show. But for 6 zombies for $11.99, that is a good deal. That's $2 a zombie. Would you pay $2 for a zombie?
Probably not, because I want to save all my money to get wets.
Oh, okay.
Unless you paid for it.
Unless I paid for it. All right, that's fine. That's fair. So we have 3 toys we talked about on this segment of Shop Smart, and that's going to be the zombie action figures, the creepy Archie tiles, and the Warner Brothers Gremlins plush blind bag with clip. That is not easy to say, but they look like fun. Which toy do you think is the most exciting? Which one would you like to have the most?
The bugs and the zombies.
The bugs and the zombies over the gremlin?
The gremlins and the zombies.
The gremlins and the zombies. All right. Okay, that's fine. I understand. Sometimes it's hard to make a choice. In fact, sometimes it can be so hard to make a choice. You want something to make a choice for you. And in our next segment called I Scream, You Stream, we actually spin a wheel to make a choice for us so we can talk about a different movie that you can watch on a streaming service. And all of these are actually available to stream on a couple different ones. Goosebumps is over on Netflix, Gremlins 2 is over on Hulu, and Spookies, Spookiz, is actually on YouTube of all places. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see which trailer we are going to watch. Are you ready to spin it, Max? Thumbs up, that means yes. So let's spin the wheel. The wheel is going. Here it goes. And it looks like it's going to land on Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 is the trailer that we are going to watch. We have a winner. So let's go ahead and take a peek.
Remember the last time we told you not to feed them after midnight? We told you to keep them away from the light. And the most important warning of all, we told you to never, ever get them wet. You didn't listen.
They're mutating.
Sir, is the building on fire?
No, that's a false alarm.
Are you trying to panic New York City?
Absolutely not. So the monsters are real? I didn't say that.
Gremlins 2. The new batch.
Now, was that civilized? No, clearly not. Fun, but in no sense civilized.
So what did you think about Gremlins 2, the trailer? Does it look too spooky?
It's spooky when it's loud.
It's spooky when it's loud. Yeah, that's fair. If something's too loud, it can definitely be spooky. But after we made it not so loud, did the Gremlins look spooky?
No.
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 You don't think so?
No.
Which Gremlin looked the funniest? There were a few there that were kind of crazy.
The spider.
Do you think the spider Gremlin looked funny? I thought the spider Gremlin is one of the creepier Gremlins.
I like the spider.
You would like the spider Gremlin. So Gremlins 2 is definitely a much funnier version of the first movie. So that would definitely maybe be something worth checking out. It is rated PG-13 though, so it is meant for a kid who's a little bit older. So if that's something you're interested in watching, you should definitely talk with your parents and see if it's something that you're allowed to watch. I have been meaning to rewatch this to see if it's too spooky for you or not. We're gonna have to find out. But Gremlins 2 is way more silly than spooky, but every once in a while it does get a little too spooky, and we don't like it when it gets too spooky. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. And the movie that we're going to talk about in the main part of the show, the movie that we actually watched a couple weeks ago over on Netflix, it got a little bit too spooky sometimes. Is that right? Yeah. And that movie was, what was it?
Escape the Undertaker.
Escape the Undertaker.
It popped my eyes out.
It popped your eyes right out of your head. Are they still there?
Yes.
Oh,
I just said
good.
that because I wanted to be a little crazy.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good to be a little bit crazy. But in Escape the Undertaker, the New Day, who are a group of wrestlers, and I don't know if I know I told you this when we watched it, they're all wrestlers. The New Day, that group of guys who go to visit the Undertaker to steal his urn so they can get his powers, and even the Undertaker is a wrestler. They're all wrestlers. This movie is made by WWE Films, Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment Films.
And so, guys, that was under the kids section, and I don't think that should be under because it sounded a little inappropriate for me.
You thought it was a little bit too spooky.
And a little bit inappropriate.
A little bit inappropriate.
That was a little too scary to the max.
A little too scary to the max. Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to say it. But the movie's made by WWE, which is a wrestling company, and all these people are wrestlers. And in the movie, they go to steal the Undertaker's urn to get his power. And obviously, some things don't really work out for them. But some things do work out for them. It all depends on the choices that you make. Because what is the cool thing about this? I know you said it was super scary, and I agree with you. It is super spooky. But what is the one thing about this that is kind of neat?
It's Choose Your Own Adventure.
It is one of the Choose Your Own Adventure series over on Netflix. And we watched another show on Netflix that was Choose Your Own Adventure that you really liked. What was it?
Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen Sandiego. So there are actually a couple Carmen Sandiego Choose Your Own Adventures over on Netflix, and there's even a Diary of a Wimpy Kid. There are a few different of these series, and the Choose Your Own Adventure is really neat because you get to choose what's going to happen next in the story. And in Escape the Undertaker, you get to make a couple choices, but really not that many, which change what's going to happen. It's really either one way or the other. Go ahead, bud.
Carmen Sandiego has way more choices.
Carmen Sandiego does have way more choices. So if you're looking to check out a Choose Your Own Adventure, you should probably watch what?
Carmen Sandiego.
That's right. And if you're looking for something that's like super, super spooky, then maybe you should watch Escape the Undertaker. But Max, like you said, this is in the kids section of Netflix. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. So like it's a little bit more spooky and a little bit more intense, I think, than most people might realize. So if you're going to watch Escape the Undertaker, just be ready because it's definitely going to be super
Scary to the max.
Ooh, super scary to the max. That's right, my man. I love it. I love it. And we're going to be doing another episode sometime soon. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm sorry that we had to wait a little bit because I was a little frightened about Escape the Undertaker.
Oh, you know what? You were a little bit frightened about it. You were saying you were a little bit nervous about it. You weren't really that nervous when we were watching it, right? You were pretty into it when we were watching it, but you were nervous to talk about it. But I'm very, very proud that you were able to talk about it and sit here with me and tell people that you thought that maybe it was a little bit too spooky for you. Because a lot of people listen to this show. A lot of people listen to it. And it's good because you get to tell them what you really like and what you think is too spooky. So what you're doing is very, very helpful. And we get to sit here and talk about it together. Isn't that nice? Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the show. And we will see you next time on
Scary to the max.